Alrighty, so you've clicked on this video and you want to know what AFL theme songs are the best and the worst in the competition. Well, not to worry, because I'm here to set that task. A few years ago, I gave this a crack, but it wasn't really that great. And this is my proper attempt of actually ranking every single AFL theme song. And I'm qualified to do this. As a child, I studied all these theme songs day and night. I knew the lyrics for every theme song. I sung them all. I'm basically a big fan of the AFL theme song ever since I was a little kid. But the thing is, we have to distinguish one from another. So some that you guys might think are decent might be ranked quite poorly. The worst theme song in the AFL has to be the West Coast Eagles song. They changed it in 2020. And the new song, it just doesn't fit an AFL song vibe. Even their old song, it wasn't the best. It wasn't really like a fit for a proper AFL song. And the song isn't great when even the fans of West Coast themselves, they get annoyed after a win because they have to hear that song. Now, luckily for West Coast fans, they don't have to hear that song very often. Well, I just realised that they're playing us and they're favourites against us. So maybe we'll scrap what I said there. If we're taking away the AFL theme song element, then maybe this song will be a bit more fitting for a tourism ad. Alright, the second worst theme song in the AFL, as you can see behind with the scarf. I've got the Hawks 17th. I'm not going to lie, it's quite a bland song. I've never really been a fan of the opening verse, the opening instrumental. It's not really that much of a catchy song to get around. With AFL theme songs, when the song's on before the game, you want to yourself, even though you don't support that side, sing along to that song. I've been in the Hawks cheer squad a few times, and I'm not going to lie, even in the Hawks cheer squad, I kind of didn't want to sing the song with how sort of crappy it is. I feel like it's almost a bit too nice, the lyrics. We're a happy team at Hawthorn, a happy team, a little bit too nice. But ultimately, I just don't really like the flow of it. One for all, another for all, the way we played Hawthorn. 16th position, North Melbourne. Hold your cheers and applause for later, North fans, because yes, you probably would be very excited to see your side not on the bottom of any ladder or list. But it's still not great. 16th is not first. 16th isn't even the top 9. It's just, for mine, another average song, just like their club, let's be real. I'm not really a big fan of their anthem, like at the start, the instrumental, It's just, I don't know, it doesn't really get me going as much as some of the other theme songs. I think the tune, it's decent on its own. It's more enjoyable, I think, to sing. But yet again, it's not really one that's great to belt out to and wouldn't be one of those songs where I'd be intimidated against, despite North being crap. It's also one of the shortest songs in the league as well. I think it only lasts for around a minute. You blokes have won 3 games in the last 5 years. I'm not joining the fucking chorus. The 15th best theme song in the league has got to go to Geelong. Sorry, Cats fans, this song just doesn't really do enough for me. It doesn't really interest me with the song. I've always felt the Geelong theme song reminds me like a pop song that just tries to be way too safe and generic with the tune and the lyrics. Like, they're trying their very best for the song to be a hit, but realistically, it's like that hit song that we hear all the time, but no one really likes, and I just feel like that's the case with the Cats. The lyrics, a little bit too repetitive, a little bit too generic. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. It just doesn't do enough for me, to be honest with you. I've heard it that many times, I'm getting sick of it. Next up on the list, we do have the Blues in 14th, and there's a reason for it. I know a lot of people that don't like the Carlton song purely for the basis of the start, and just because it's such a slow, boring song. It could put you to sleep. I do understand that with the Blues, it's been such a traditional song for so long. And over the years, I've used to really not like this song, but over the years, it's slightly started to grow on me. Think about it. I'm actually kind of getting around the da-da-da-da-da. I know it's slow, I know it's different, but 85k plus Blues fans of the G makes it extremely intimidating, you have to agree. But honestly, yeah, look, I like AFL theme songs that are paced a little bit quicker, that you can sort of belt out to. It's not as easy to belt out to this song, although I have tried it before. But yeah, just for mine, a little slow for mine to be ranked much higher. Now, the 13th best theme song that's gone up, I think a bit of a jump up from the Cats one. We have Brisbane, and realistically, all the songs for the rest of the list here, I actually quite like, but you just have to differentiate one from the other. So Brisbane's just got to go into 13th. I kind of dig it, to be honest. I kind of like that end part with the roar, the bit where it says, "You hear the mighty roar." And, it also has quite a lot of history behind it. It used to be Fitzroy's song. They sort of changed the lyrics a little bit for Brisbane. It's to the tune of the French national anthem. But I think for Brisbane, it's still, for mine, a little bit too slow for my liking. It could be better. And it's not really one you hear about a lot when we talk about AFL theme songs. Now, in 12th position, we've got the Adelaide theme song. And just like the Lions, it doesn't really do much for me. I kind of view it the same way I do the Lions. But again, I don't think it does heaps wrong. It's a fine song. Like, if I went up to you on the street and was like, alright, name me 3 AFL theme songs you dig, I'd be quite surprised if I heard anyone say Adelaide. But then if I asked people on the street 3 songs you hate the most, I'd also be relatively surprised if it's Adelaide. So the Adelaide song in a way is a bit like in No Man's Land in terms of the ranking. I like the instrumentals at the start. It's quite unique, it's quite different, and I will give credit to Adelaide's song because if I'm not mistaken, I think it might be the first theme song that I've actually implemented 2 verses. In 11th spot, we do have St Kilda. No, just because I support the Saints doesn't mean I was going to be a biased prick and put them first. That's not how this goes. I really do get around the Saints song before every game. Well, I mean, that's a bit of a no-shit statement considering I support the club, but I feel like the reason why it can't be too much higher, there are a few reasons. One is lack of originality. This isn't a song that the Saints themselves have come up with. In fact, I think every single sporting league in the world which contains Saints uses this song in some way or another, and the lyrics are basically kept the exact same apart from, oh, how I want to be in St Kilda. And obviously they're going to change that bit at the end. Otherwise, well, I mean, this song would have been the worst. It's also the shortest song in the league as well. That finishes in less than a minute. And if you look right here, the entire theme song's lyric are basically the exact same thing. Overall, only 14 words. It's lucky to be in 11th, but the reason why it is there is because not just going to go for the Saints, the instrumentals for the Saints song, one of the best in the AFL. You can't dispute that. The 10th best theme song, unlucky not to be in the top 9, we have the Gold Coast Suns. And when this song did come out, it did take me a little bit of time to get used to and learn the lyrics. So it did take me a little bit of time to get into it. But I don't think it's one of those songs you can complain with. I actually think it's quite a good song. One of the better ones. Very upbeat, fun to sing along. The pacing is great. There's really not a lot I can complain about the song. It's just too bad you don't hear it often enough. Like, you barely hear it throughout the Suns' tenure. And I genuinely reckon this song would be ranked higher if the Suns started getting some finals into them. Because I just don't think it's memorable / iconic enough, and I feel like if it was played before a grand final and the Suns won the flag, it wouldn't shock me if people would have the Suns as the favourite theme song due to that reason. And in 9th position, we've got the theme song for the draw. It's a song you just can't hate. Like, they need to play this song after every single draw. The lyrics make sense. The lyrics work. Sorry, what was going on? I'm not allowed to include the draw. It's on a proper AFL theme song.
Of course not, you idiot.
Fuck off then. I just wanted to make a joke for the video. Well, I guess we'll move on then. Apparently the draw isn't an official AFL theme song, although it should be. And comment down below if you agree. We start with 9th, the Western Bulldogs, and I quite like this song. I really do like the lyrics as well. You know, Sons of the West. It's quite intimidating. Much more intimidating than the likes of North or Hawthorn. And I also like how there's a massive build-up at the end with like the instrumentals. I definitely get around it. But ultimately, the Western Bulldogs, I think in my old video, I had this ranked a bit higher. I have put it down a few spots, but regardless, the Bulldog song's pretty good, and I'm a fan of it. In 8th position, we've got the Fremantle theme song. I want to say this though, I absolutely hated the old song, you know, the old Freo Hevo. I think it lasted over 3 minutes, and it was just slow, crappy. And I'll quickly say this before we talk about the new song. Back when I was a kid, when I was, you know, singing all the theme songs at home or whatever, the one theme song my mum refused me to play out loud and sing was the Fremantle theme song because she thought it was an absolute disgrace to the AFL theme songs. So it's safe to say that it would have ranked quite low if they didn't change it. The Dockers have changed their new theme song to a more modern and advanced theme song that, you know, cuts to the chase and isn't a 3-minute ball fest. It's one of the best starts to a song, I think, of the league by far. I really get around it. It feels like a bit of a party when the Freo song is on, honestly, and it's fun to sing along. You can get around it. Honestly, could be ranked a few spots higher if the old one didn't ingrain terrible memories in my mind.
Freo, way to go. Hit it real hard at the down below.
In 7th position, we have the GWS Giants theme song. Now, quite a few people might be thinking this song might need to be a little bit higher up in the ranks. What are you doing, Cardi? The Giants song's the best. Let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. I think the Giants song is really good, but I don't think it competes with some of the other ones I have on the list later. The Giants have a really good theme song. They've got really good Guernseys. They've got a really good social media manager running the page. It feels like the only thing the Giants really need are some actual fans. Sorry, Marto. But I originally didn't love the Giants theme song at the start. You know, when it came out in 2012, I was, what, like 9 years old or whatever I was. I thought it was some, like, crappy Russian parody song that was almost like a bit of a joke. I'm like, fuck off, this song's being played out loud. I'm not getting around this at all. But over time, as the side became good and more people got on the Giants, particularly in the 2019 period, I remember when that song was played 150,000 times. All the memes were great at the time, and the song is actually quite fun and listened to with the lyrics and the pacing. All right, in the 6th position, we have the Sydney Swans. I've always liked the Sydney theme song, to be honest, or at least as a late. Maybe this song wouldn't have been as high a few years ago. I feel like when we're comparing it to all the other theme songs, the Sydney lyrics are just about as good as they can come when it comes to theme songs. They're well thought of. I like the part where it's like, whether the odds are great or be small, or the part where they say, oh, you know, shake down the thunder from the sky. Quite unique and different from what you normally expect. You know, a few years ago when I made a video over the origins of every theme song, I later found out that the Sydney song was actually, you know, inspired by the Notre Dame fighting song, which is one of the more iconic songs really out there that any AFL club has adopted. I like the use of the banjo as well, like in the instrumental. Some don't like it, some do. I'm one of the ones that do. And, you know, the iconic start of the song as well. Cheer, cheer, the red and the white. I just think it's iconic, and you just can't go wrong with Sydney at the moment. We now dive into the top 5 now. Number 5, we've got Collingwood. Hate the club, but I do enjoy the song. I have to give him credit. When I tell someone to sing an AFL theme song, a lot of the times they might just be taking the piss out of Collingwood, saying, you know, bad old Collingwood forever. But regardless of the way you put it, you can't take away the fact that Collingwood have one of the more iconic theme songs. Definitely one of the more intimidating songs as well. It does help how the Pies have a big fan base. But this blasted out in front of 90k plus. If you're not intimidated, then I need to be fearful of you. But as good as Collingwood's theme song is, I prefer this one just a little bit better.
I love it when Collingwood choke. It's football's greatest joke.
They have lost. Shit. Number 4, we have Essendon. Just like Collingwood, hate the club, but get around their song. And it's a fantastic start with the pacing of the theme song. I really do love the instrumentals as well. And the lyrics, you know, see the bombers fly up. It really should be the opposite of it. It should be more like see them crash down, which is probably what we're going to see throughout the rest of the year, given they're second right now. But I'm not going to take the piss out of Essendon too much. I think Essendon's song really does well. And it's definitely, you know, with being at a big club, it's definitely intimidating. It's one of those songs as a player, you would just want to run out to a song like this, as opposed to like North Melbourne or Hawthorn. I'm sorry, I'm bagging them out again. But Essendon's theme song, it can't go wrong, and I'm a big fan of it, and that's why I have it in 4th. Alright, quickly before we do get into the top 3 of this list, the 3 best AFL theme songs in the competition. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 35,000 subs, and if we've already hit that by the time you've been watching this, it'd be great if we can grow this amount to as much as we can. And if you've been enjoying this one as well, leave some suggestions down below for other videos in this similar style that I can do related to like AFL topics. Starting with the top 3, in 3rd spot, I've got the D's, Melbourne. What a song. Like, really, it's almost perfection in a footy song. Maybe last week this song would have been last, hearing it after the footy, but most of the time, it's one of the best theme songs in the league. Realistically, I haven't got many issues with it. The pacing is about as perfect as it can get. It's one of the better songs to belt out to as well. Too bad with Melbourne, they don't have enough fans that actually care about their club. So if they had an 80k fan base, you know, there's a chance this could have been up at number 1 with how good I think this song really is. Number 2, we have Port Adelaide. Might be a surprise to some that it's this high, but honestly, the Port Adelaide theme song has got to be the most underrated theme song in the league, and almost makes the number 1 spot. Over the last few years particularly, I've gotten around this song that much more. It always gets me up and about, you know, it's fast paced, and it's actually my favourite song, honestly. Like, let's take away St Kilda and all that. My favourite song of the AFL to belt out. You can thank Gather Round last year, this year Gather Round. Also, when Port Adelaide beat the Bombers after the sign, I was like near the Port cheer squad, and I was just like, we're just going to belt this song out. And it's so fun to belt out as well. I particularly like the part where they go, we'll never stop, 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 till we're top, top, top. It's history here in the making. It's such a unique instrumental as well. And the way that the song's structured as well, if you compare it to a lot of the other theme songs, there are heaps of different verses. It's not like necessarily, you know, the one verse, the music, one verse. It's all over the place, but I do really enjoy it. And a number 1 spot, you can see it right there. You've been able to determine it through process of elimination. We've got Richmond's theme song. They have to be the best theme song in the league. In terms of intimidation factor, it doesn't get much more intimidating than 90k plus the G yelling yellow and black, which is what we got to see during, you know, the 2017, 18, 19, you know, that period where they were so successful. Not really many clubs integrate like their team mascot as part of their song to make the intimidation factor a lot more. And the lyrics are good. The, you know, the anthem, the music, the instrumentals, the pacing. Let's be real, if we're going to be going around the street and let's just take bias aside and interviewing random people on what their favourite AFL theme song is, I believe the majority would say Richmond is the best. In fact, we're going to do it right now. There'll be a poll in the description and in the pinned comment. So have a vote for your top 3 favourite AFL theme songs, and I'd love to see the results. Well, that will round it out with the list of my favourite AFL theme songs in 2024. Not just my favourite, the best. So if you think I'm wrong with my opinion, you're wrong, because I'm right. This is the only right list. You know, if someone in a YouTube live chat asks, oh, Cardman, what's your favourite theme song? Link them to this video. Link this video to all your mates, particularly your Carlton, West Coast, North Melbourne, Geelong, Hawthorn supporting mates, to piss them off, because we would love this video to do quite well. Regardless though, thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon for some more content, and hopefully you enjoy this video as well. Let's get this video to 500 or more likes.